Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Waterboys, a Japanese comedy from 2001 that was directed by Shinobu Yaguchi, one of my favorite comedy directors of all time. I actually did a video discussing his filmography a while back. I'll include a link in the description box below. Most interestingly, he's in the process of making a horror movie in 2025, I believe, with Masami Nagasawa. So I'm very intrigued with that one because he's never directed a horror film to my knowledge. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about one of his first big comedy hits, Waterboys. Suzuki is a high school student who aspires to become a great swimmer. However, he's not very good, and the swim team is on the rocks. Soon, a beautiful new swimming teacher starts work at the high school. Dozens of boys decide to join the team, but when they realize that she is teaching synchronized swimming, which is generally a woman's sport, everyone but Suzuki and 4 other boys drop out. Now, they need to get better at synchro swimming before the big festival. So the opening 15 minutes of this movie are rather unpredictable. There are a few pretty crazy plot twists, and I will not spoil those for you, even though they do happen early on. But if you really look at it, Waterboys does have some similarities to this director's later film, Swing Girls, which was made in 2004, a few years after this one. In terms of its premise and its story progression, these are very similar movies. They almost have the same template. Both movies are about a bunch of high school protagonists who are coerced into doing a hobby that they are initially not that interested in. However, they begin to enjoy it and welcome the challenge. And both films involve unconventional methods of learning the respective hobbies. And there's a lot of stuff that occurs outside of the hobby premise, like securing access to necessary supplies and areas, selling tickets to festivals, choosing priority between sports and school, etc. Stuff like that. Now, in my opinion, Swing Girls is the better of the two films, but Waterboys continues to grow on me with every viewing. It's very entertaining stuff, and it's kind of a really good starting point if you want to get into this director. The comedy is very quaint and family-friendly. There's very little offensive stuff in this, really, from what I can see. Now, there are a handful of laugh-out-loud moments. The scene where they mess up the fish is quite funny, and it forces them even further to committing to swimming. I did laugh hysterically at one brief moment involving a vending machine, just because it just seemingly comes from out of nowhere. These boys need to get better at swimming, right? So early on, they ask one of the animal trainers from SeaWorld to get some advice, because this guy can train dolphins to do tricks in the water. So they think to themselves, hey, this could be useful for us. Like stuff like that. It's quite a chuckle-worthy endeavor. There's a classic moment while the guys are practicing swimming in the ocean near the beach. And then you get, obviously, like the big finale, which is maybe a little bit cheesy, but it brings all the swimming stuff together. You will definitely recognize some of the cast in this. Satoshi Sumabuki is the lead actor in this. This was very early in his career. We've seen him a ton of times over the years. Movies like Dororo, Villain, Smuggler, The World of Kanako, Rage, It Comes, etc. And his performance here is a bit different from the aforementioned films for sure. This is much lighter and, I guess you could say, charming. Naoto Takanaka has a supporting role as well. He's shown up in a bunch of Yaguchi's movies specifically, as well as some huge Japanese movies over the years, like Shall We Dance? And he even did some exploitation movies. I think some of Takashi Ishii's films he was in. So I always find him hilarious, though. Great. He's great. So, if you like comedies, I strongly recommend Waterboys. I think Japan has been, one of the hallmark countries in Asia for just dishing out, like, consistent comedies. Even in the United States, I feel like the comedy genre has been waning for a long time, but, Yaguchi in Japan keep coming out, regularly, or at least semi-regularly, with some elite comedy stuff. So it's nice. This is a good flick. Now, this is easiest to find on physical media. DVD, Blu-ray, there's even a few VCDs floating around. And it does have English subtitles. The Japanese releases do have English subtitles for this. So you can find that on Yes Asia or eBay. Check it out. And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.